Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Rob and Tom, for your time today. Again, the first video was very popular, and people started asking us about new questions and new topics. And the topic for today is we will join two topics together. One is about losing weight, and the second topic is about building muscles. I've got questions from people that they've sent me to ask on their behalf. So I think we can start. And the first question that I've got here is, what is the best way to lose weight? What to eat and what to not eat? What sort of exercises are the best? And is it good to count your calories? And which is the best diet?
Deficit is definitely the best way to lose weight. Now, there's different types of deficit. I know if you heard about the juice diet, just to give an example. When people go on the juice diet, they tend to lose weight fairly quick. Free shakes, whatever they call it, is equivalent to 900 calories, right? Roughly. It's definitely under 1,000 calories. So when people go on the juice diet and they only allowed to drink 3 to 4 shakes a day, they automatically tend to lose weight fairly quick because their body will go into a deficit. If you try to survive on 900 to 1,000 calories a day, especially when you carrying quite a lot of body fat, you tend to lose weight fairly quick. So just to give an example, one of the ways you can lose weight is your body needs to be in deficit. So that means you have to consume less calories and burn more calories. So if you burn more, you consume less, your body goes into a deficit and automatically start losing weight. Right? That's the most simple explanation of losing weight, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think people overcomplicate it with all these different types of diets when basically eat less, move more. It is that simple. Yes. And then there's just varying degrees. If you're morbidly obese, like literally you walking to the shop and back will burn so much more calories than someone that's just got a little bit of fat to lose, because the more you weigh, the more calories you expend, which is what most people don't understand. You think, oh, I'm really fat, I got a slow metabolism. And metabolism isn't one thing either, it's multiple things. And you just need to move more. And obviously going to the gym will help facilitate extra calories. You'll look better because obviously, you're stimulating muscles and stuff like that. But is a gym needed to lose weight? No. You can do it through diet and just moving.
One thing you got to consider, what people don't know, especially females, they're very about the concept about this is quite hard for them to understand. But the number one secret to lose weight, it's muscle.
I personally think, all the diets are based on a calorie deficit, right? Keto, you remove carbs, you're in a calorie deficit. Yes, there's some minor amounts of you burning more fat through the lack of carbs causing insulin and stuff like that. But broadly speaking, it's just calorie deficit. So I would say if you want to look good, keep your protein fairly high. If you don't care about looking good, drop it. But protein is the most essential part of this diet. And then all you need to really do is, each person's a bit different. Some people get on better with higher fat diets. Some get on better with higher carbs. Like if you drop my carbs, I look terrible. My performance goes down. So it's person dependent, but broadly speaking, fairly moderate-ish protein, because that's really essential. And then if you're female, higher fats are more essential because they regulate your hormones, and females have more hormones. And fats are good, but obviously it's a higher amount of calories. So then if you favor fats, then you've got to reduce carbs a little bit. If you prefer carbs, then you've got to reduce your fat a little bit. It's just a bit of a juggling act. But I would always say start off slow. Don't reduce your calories by a huge chunk, because depending on how much fat you have to lose, then let's say you start on 2,000 calories. That's your maintenance. And you go from 2,000 calories down to 1,000 calories. Yeah, you're going to lose a lot of weight fast, but then your body is going to plateau. And then where'd you go from there? You have to go to 700 calories lower. And then your performance then suffers. So a smaller calorie deficit, like, I don't know, start off with taking away 400 calories from your diet and then see where you're at. Definitely. I think both when me and Rob go into diet phases, we don't even really reduce our overall food first. We just cut the crap out, cut out, your snacks, the alcohol, those frappuccino things that people love. Take that out, see where you are, and you'll see that your body would have dropped, some weight already. What do you think, Rob?
I'm a bit like more complex. So my study starts off like studying the person in particular. Okay, what type of genetic this person has? Is this person an endomorph, a mesomorph, or ectomorph? So basically, majority of the people that wants to lose weight, they were endomorph. Some people, this type, but there's other people, they were once in the life, they were ectomorph, and because the life gets in the way and they become endomorph. So study the type of genetics this person has. It's an endomorph. We know endomorph people, hard to lose weight, they thick bones, they're just large people by nature. And obviously, due to a bad diet, they become very obese and even harder for them to lose weight. Some people that were ectomorph, which is people hardly put any weight on, but over the years, doing the bad options on food, they become quite fat and overweight. So they step down to endomorph. So study the person's genetics first of all. So if it's endomorph person, majority of the people wants to lose weight, they are endomorph person. So they have to be consistent activity. These people have to be active 24/7, to keep their metabolic rates sky high. The way in terms to diet, like Tom mentioned very clear and perfectly, is reducing. Start from the crap stuff. Don't go into a drastic calorie decrease because that's not going to happen. But just remove stage by stages. Take the diet out of your head because the word diet is very scary. Diet is a Latin word from dieta, which means way of life. So forget about the diet. Focus on your way of life. Change your habits. Start by changing your habit. Start by removing the simple sugars, removing the bad stuff. Remove the junk out of your diet, and that's the first stages. And I can guarantee if you're drinking a liter of Coke every day, and if you stop drinking that for the next 4 weeks, you're going to lose at least 8 to 10 pounds just by stopping the Coke.
Unfortunately, there is no amount of sit-ups that will give you a six-pack.
No, your body will not select from where it's going to burn the fat from.
It goes from all over. And usually, because of insulin resistance, the stomach area is where the fat comes out from the last. So women, it's a bit different, but that's usually like kind of bum and hamstring area. But most of the time it's the stomach for guys that will come last. So there is no exercise that will target stomach fat or fat anywhere around. No, like that's classic one, like bingo wings. Like, do some tricep like shit. Yeah. No, that's not going to do anything.
Spending half an hour on the yoga mat on the floor doing sit-ups and crunches, you will not remove the body fat around that belly or something. And nothing will do unless. I'll just give an example, right? People wouldn't come up to me like you just mentioned, Peter. Oh, got a little bit of belly. I'd love to lose that. Okay, just give an example. So let's say for the next 16 weeks, what you're gonna do is just eat 5 meals a day, fish and salads 5 times a day, and you tell me how your belly is gonna look like in 16 weeks time.
The next question I've got, I want to lose weight. What should I eat for dinner? And what is the latest time I can eat a dinner?
Anytime.
Because there's perception, okay, you shouldn't be eating after 7 p.m., you should stop eating and starve yourself until midnight, before you go to bed.
There's government guidelines in it. When I did my nutrition exam, the government guideline suggests people should eat after 6 p.m., which is completely BS. You should eat whenever. For example, the day has 24 hours. You eat whenever you feel like. There is no perfect. There hasn't been scientifically proved there is a perfect timing for you to stop eating. There doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, fat loss it happens in a 24-hour period. You don't get to 8 o'clock and you have like some food, and your body's like, oh, well, you know, that's fat storage time now. I'm just gonna, you know, because I mean, a lot of the time I train at 9 o'clock at night. So theoretically, then I should be really fat because I'm eating until like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The
Okay.
timing, the food consumption timing is completely irrelevant for fat loss.
Okay. And so what would you, for yourselves, Jensen, what would you have for, you know, after, like, let's say 7, 8 p.m., you go watch TV or you spend time with friends, would you still eat even, like, let's say a pizza, or would you cut it down to maybe a nuts or some fruits and veg?
Well, like I said, I think, you know, 24 hours in the day, you've got to figure out where you're placing your meals. If you're in a calorie deficit and you prefer a larger meal in the evening, you're still going to lose fat, but you got to just make sure that the meals through the day are like lower calories. So there isn't like a specific food that you should be eating in the evening. You know, it's just how you time your food. If you're having a lunch bigger and then you haven't got much food left for the day, then yeah, you can't have like a pizza or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, well, I truly think, like, for example, when I work with my clients, the ones who are into fat loss, what I do, I give him something very light to eat in the nighttime. It normally is in terms of fish and veg, so a lot of fibers. And the reason I do that is because body tend to digest and process the fish very quick. So if you eat a meal of fish with veg, you probably your body will metabolize the whole food within less than 2 hours. So, and if you go to bed, and I can guarantee you're gonna wake up pretty much starving, right? And the first thing you gotta do is try, and you want to eat first thing in the morning, which is great. And that's one of the reasons I give a last meal based on very low calories, something really easy for your body to metabolize. Because I want people to wake up feeling hungry. Because one of the big mistakes that people do is not eating first thing in the morning, you know. So given all that, it kind of spikes the metabolic rate, and you wake up feeling hungry, and you have the first meal, and that's the first step to start your fat burning process. And also what Peter mentioned, like the times that you mentioned, is being proved scientifically is the worst times of the day. That's when people had their last meal earlier, 5, 6 o'clock. They're sitting in front of the TV and they don't know what to eat, and that's when everyone does the biggest mistake.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, the next question is fat burners. So if I want to lose fat, shall I start eating fat burners?
No, fat burners should. I think for the majority of people like that want to lose fat, don't even think about fat burners really. I mean, get your diet sorted first. Get the calorie deficit, because people think fat burners, they're going to melt the fat away, and that's not how it works. Like, it basically helps you to expend more calories doing whatever you're doing. So if you're sitting on the sofa, then you're not going to burn any calories. You're just wasting it. However, if you're doing some faster cardio or weight training, whatever, yeah, fat burners can help a little bit. I mean, we're talking like 5 to 10% difference here. So if overall you're not in a calorie deficit, that is not going to do a whole lot.
To be fair, I think fat burners, in my opinion, they work more for performance type of thing, because they're very thermogenic and they really increase your energy levels, and people tend to work out harder when they are taking fat burners. But then again, they don't seem to work when your body fat levels are quite high.
It also depends on what fat burners they're on about.
Yeah, exactly. But if your body fat levels are pretty low, because due to your diet and training, then when you pump some fat burners into your system, if they are good fat burners, they seems to work because they will improve your performance in your workout. And we know the better performance, the more body fat you burn. I mean, that's the only way I see it. I don't think taking fat burners on its own is really going to make you lose weight. Or
the only other good benefit as well is appetite suppression. Because most of the time fat burners have a lot of caffeine or yohimbine or whatever, so they're great for blunting the appetite. So, but you have to really get into the diet before using them. So fat burners are good, but again, like, you want that energy performance when you're feeling really low and you're feeling crap, not like, oh yeah, I've eaten like a salad for a week now. Let's chuck some fat burners in.
Yeah,
You know, diet for at least 6 weeks or something. Get in it,
yeah.
and then use it, because that's like an ace in the hole. You know, you want to use all these things to help you at plateau points or when fat loss slows down. You can't chuck everything in at the beginning, because then you've got no cards left to play.
The general consensus is that cardio is the best for losing weight. What is the recommended time? How long should I be spending on a treadmill or on running? You know, or doing some sort of activity.
The thing about like what people don't understand is uh, when people want to like want to lose weight or lose body fat, whatever, cardio is definitely a key factor for that. You know, definitely is. But people need to perform whatever cardio they're doing, either the treadmill or either the bike or stairmaster or Zumba class, whatever it is. You need to really give it all. You know, you can't just go a step on the treadmill on 2.2 with the mobile phone in your hands and checking for social media while you're walking the treadmill. You cannot do that. That's not going to take you anywhere. You know, if you really want to see the benefits of losing body fat by using cardio as a physical activity, you really need to give everything we can. You know, you really need to really work hard. You know, I think people miss the concept of that. You know, the people, because I know people do 1 hour cardio every day, and they're still looking fat.
Have you got any questions about losing weight?
Yes, hello. If I can ask you, hello, my name is Michal, and I have been always like higher weight. For example, because I'm also small, I'm tall like around 165 centimeters, and last year in the beginning of spring I had 108 kilos, and it was really all the time hard because I was studying, living in stress, sleeping 3-4 hours daily, always like we are reading like 200 pages like per week. Imagine the stress always. And last week I decided that I should move, and I want to ask you something because it was very interesting. I never could lose anything, and last week I think that the losing of the body is making like the shocking the body. So for example, like the for 3 weeks I didn't eat anything sweet, like no flour, and I was running like 3 times per week, like 15 minutes in the beginning, because I wasn't able to like to breathe more. And here is so I was continuing like the 6 weeks, and I lost around 8 kilos. It was first time that I lost like something, but after it came again the period of exams and everything, and I moved and I changed that. And I want to ask you, is this like the good way, or it was working just because I shocked my body first time, and should I continue like this from the next year, or should I continue?
First of all, what you done, like without having much of a knowledge, you did the right stuff. You know, one of the reasons you were overweight, you're carrying a bit of weight because you were in a lot of stress. So I reckon your cortisol levels were through the roof, right? And that's a massive influence or the way you looked. You know, cortisol levels makes you like your body hold weight and hold
Yeah.
water, feeling bloated and stuff like that. So you found out that doing exercising, which is running, and eating less would obviously eventually take your body into a deficit, and that's why you lost so much weight to start off with, which is brilliant. You know, that's exactly like you were hoping for. Um, if you want to carry on the way you're going to carry on, I say absolutely not, absolutely not. You need a lot more. Okay, another way, you found intermittent fasting, one another option. Intermittent fasting, the only thing it does is just shortens the window of consuming meals. That's all it does. It's not the intermittent fast is not going to make you lose weight at all. All it makes you eat less. You know, if you have a window of 8 hours to eat, you're only going to eat like 3 meals a day. That's all it does. You know, it's just shorten the window of consuming meals. And I suggest what you did was great because you find a way to lose weight somehow. There's many ways to skin a cat. You find your way to skin your cat. But if you really want to progress into the weight loss or fat loss and get the best shape of your life, you're gonna need a bit things a bit more specific, and more professional. What do you reckon, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, totally agree. Yeah, I mean, it's great that you lost weight. Well done. But yeah, intermittent fasting isn't magical. You don't suddenly dip into a magical pool of fat burning potential. And the problem with that is, let's say 4-6 weeks time, your fat loss will slow down because you'll need to expend or intake less food, and then you're already only eating 3 meals. So then the only real way then is more expenditure, and then also you're kind of pigeonholing yourself into a corner, because there comes a point where there's only a certain amount of expenditure that you can get, and then you're like, well, what can I do now? I'm on 3 meals. I guess I have to do 2. So it's good that you did the 15 minutes. You started off 15 minutes and built up from there, because it sounds counterproductive, but you almost want to do the least amount in the beginning stages to get the most result. So that's great. But I personally, I would probably ditch the intermittent fasting and go to more regular food structure. Prioritize the proteins, because as I've said before, your body burns calories processing proteins. So there's been many studies where you can intake a high amount of protein and you can lose body fat because your body has to burn calories processing that. So I would, increase your protein, have carbs, maybe just first thing in the morning or around some exercise. What you did in the evening was great. The whole tuna and salad, that's great, because you probably don't need a whole lot of carbs. But yeah, I think you need to change from intermittent fasting and then get into a bit more like 4 meals, 4 small meals, or maybe even 5 small meals, depending on the size, would be much more beneficial, because then you've just got more options to play with when you hit the plateau, and you will hit a plateau.
You hit the plateau. Another thing is, like, you didn't mention about resistance training, which is a very important key factor going to progress into that.
You working out or not? Are you going to the gym?
I was going, but mostly I was running and walking.
Yeah. We're still going back to that thing I said at the beginning. Remember, the secret to lose fat is muscle. So if you put on muscle in your body, you will lose fat a lot quicker, 100%.
You can start off with just 3 times a week. I mean, you don't have to go every day, just get used to it, because, you could just do a very simple split. You could do your cardio either first thing in the morning or after your exercise. But I would, and Rob probably would agree, I would probably say get your weights in, do resistance training and do that for 45 minutes to an hour, and then get your cardio on top of that.
Okay, thank you.
Just give an example. I had the client this morning, and she's overweight. Due to, it's very similar to your case, actually. She's due to a lot of stress at work and long hours and stuff like that. She put on about 5.5 stone in a year. So we're working on getting to losing the body weight, the body fat that she put on in the last past year. See, in the gym, we do 10 minutes on the Stairmaster to start off with. Then you do 45 minutes to 50 minutes of intense resistance workout. The only reason is that because I told her, I'm not gonna help you on your cardio. I can't do nothing about that. You can do that by yourself. But the resistance training, going to the gym and lift weights, that's very important. That you're gonna need me, because that's just gonna help you to lose the weight and the body fat that you pack on for the last year.
Okay. And is good running for l- losing the weight?
Running, if I were you, I mean, because of the weight and how much your height is, that's a lot of pressure on your joints. I personally, if you don't want to go to the gym, I would just go like a fast walk until you drop the weight, because you will hurt your knees that way. If you got access to the gym, Stairmaster is one of the best you could do. Incline treadmill walk. If you do suffer knee pains, maybe like a cross trainer or something, but I would not start with running
No.
with your weight.
No.
So many injuries happen through running, and then if you get injured, then you can't exercise, and then your journey will stop. So
you will burn the same amount of calories through fast. For example, when you start running, you're running 15 minutes a day, which is absolutely normal. But I would say if you just start fast walking, you're probably doing about 45 minutes up to
Yeah.
an hour. Because guys, it will have a lot less impact in your joints, and you probably will feel more comfortable as well.
I know some people that are using purely this particular machine to lose weight, and it's the vibration plate where you just stand on it. Have you had it? Have anybody discussed this with you? Is it actually good for losing weight?
Oh dear, hell no. You know what? I worked in the company and for 7 years, and we had a vibration plate in there, and we had all of us, all the members of the staff, have to go through some training to learn how to do exercise in the machine, so we can pass it on to the customers and to the clients of the gym. So I had the full training on that machine. I took people through workouts day by day on that machine, and none of them changed during the time we had the machine. And we had that machine for about a good 6 years. And so it was people there that would use it on a daily basis, and they would still look exactly the same day after day. So I don't think it works. I think the only thing I've used the machine myself just to massage my calves. That's it.
Right, and now we are getting actually into the exercising and muscle building. So the first question I've got here, I want to build muscles. What should I eat? How often I need to exercise?
If you're really serious into muscle building, so you gotta go like all out, all out there. What builds muscle? Protein. What gives you energy? Carbs, um, and fats, but mostly carbs. So protein high, carbs gotta be high. You need a lot of energy and a lot of resistance training. I mean, you gotta hit the gym at least minimum 4 times a week. And that's all you need. A lot of compound exercises, and is about overloaded progression. So it's about getting stronger, week after week after week. What I mean, and that's how you progress, and that's how you build muscle. There is no scientific um, explanation for that. It's quite simple and basic, isn't it, Tom?
totally agree. I mean, I think people overcomplicate it. Get stronger week by week within a given rep range. Like 6 to 12 reps or whatever, 6 to 15, whatever. Get stronger, and you need the protein without a doubt. The protein. It's like building a house without bricks. So you need the diet, you need the protein, you need the carbs, you need some fat. Yeah, it's really simple. And how often you go to the gym? I mean, that's a broad question. Is the person skinny? Are they fat? Whatever. Like
Depends.
it depends on the body type. If you're an ectomorph, then you could go to the gym as much as you want as long as you're eating enough food. But if you're not eating enough food, then maybe less gym is better, just so you can eat. If you're a bit more overweight, then you need to go to the gym as much as possible because you got calories to burn. But bottom line, protein, get stronger, focus on the compounds. Yeah, for sure.
And if you really want to I don't say a shortcut because that sounds really bad. There's no shortcuts on building muscle. But if you really want to go and don't waste a lot of time trying to figure things out, you hire a trainer. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but you hire a trainer that is specialized in building muscle. Not all the trainers are specialized in building muscle, as we know.
Or at least get a plan,
A plan, a plan, yeah. And follow the plan or follow what your trainer says, and I can guarantee you that you're gonna save a lot of time of your life on trying building muscle. Simple as that. One of the reasons people go to a trainers is because of that. Is because they know if they're gonna try it by themselves, they're gonna spend a very long time in the gym trying to figure out how to build muscle.
I will say this as well. What Rob said, prioritize free weight exercises in the beginning because that's your foundation. A lot of the popularity now is machines, but you know, the quickest way, you know, if you have to stabilize a free weight object, you're using more muscles. You're using more muscles, you're going to break down more muscles. You're going to grow quicker. So, you know, get strong at the basics. Don't worry, don't overcomplicate it. Just get the basics down, get those really good, get strong at them, and you will change.
You know, yeah, that's what Tom said. You know, the wheel has been invented. So as a lot of people that go to the gym, they try to invent the wheel, and they end up getting lost. And they end up. You go to see a lot of people. They try to build muscle, and you see them year after year after year after year looking exactly the same. You know, I mean, it hasn't changed a bit. You know, what I mean, so that's one of the problems, is because they don't change their workout regime, and they try to always invent something that doesn't exist. To be fair, muscle building has been around for centuries and is always the same, you know, and pretty much seems to work for everyone. You know, basic and compound, simple.
I think actually one of the biggest factors, and the simple one as well, is just consistency. You know, like people always say, oh, you know, you've gotten big and stuff like that. You know, what do you take and all this stuff? I take 12 years of consistent work. That's what I take. You know, like I haven't stopped at all. You know, I don't go partying. I don't do any of that stuff. I literally, the gym has been consistent part of my life for years. And so many people, they're looking for that quick fix of, oh, I'll do this program and I gain 30 pounds in 30 days. And then I'll just go party for a bit and then take a month off and then go back. You're never going to get anywhere. So
no, and get that out of your head. Then people said, oh, if I go to gym, I'm gonna get big really quick. Well, it doesn't happen that way.
That's the problem often. Yeah, I see it as well. You know, people go to gym for a month and two, they don't see what, you know, the results they were hoping to see, so they give up. Yeah.
No, it takes time. It takes time. Like Tom just mentioned, consistency is the key.
Yeah.
When I first started working out, I don't think I missed a workout for the first 10 years. The first 10 years of my life, I didn't miss a single workout. I even used to work out in the Christmas day, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, it's so funny. I have so many clients and so many that people come to me like, yeah, I want to be like kind of like your size, but not that big. And I'm like, yeah, good luck. Like 12 years of just dedication. You know, and I wouldn't even view myself as big. I still would love to get much bigger, and I will get there. It's just going to take years.
Yeah, it's just the same approach when you go approach the gym. You know, I think every people has a different goals when you go to the gym. So, like for example, my goal was literally I just wanted a place where I could stay for a couple hours, just releasing my stress and just train. I didn't even care about my body, anything like that. I just want to train. I wanted just to push weights. That's all I wanted. The body came afterwards. So a lot of people, if they go to the gym just to train, just to work out, they find themselves in a better path than the ones who go to the gym. Okay, let me get big now. Let me do this and just to get big. So when you have that in your mind, the things 9 out of 10, they're not going to go the way you want it. And that's why, like Peter mentioned, they'll give up. They'll be the first ones to quit the gym because they don't seem to get anywhere, and it's not working, and that's it. You know, they're off you go. But if you use the gym as a therapy, you know, just to get your mind away from something, and just, you know, and everyone knows after you go in the gym and do a great workout, you feel great afterwards.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a very good point. Enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question. I'm trying to build muscles, but I also do a lot of running, approximately 15K per week. Is it counterproductive?
Not really. If your protein is high, if you're eating well, not really.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you got to understand is your body is in a constant state of breaking down muscle and growing muscle every day, right? And the way you build muscle is you've just put more effort into the gaining muscle phase. So you just need to support whatever you're doing. So if you're running, you might need a bit more carbs because you're expending a bit more. So there's nothing wrong with you going for the run if you enjoy it and stuff like that. It's great cardiovascularly.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, cardio wise, it's probably better for muscle growth because you're going to have better capillaries, better oxygen, which means a bit more muscle growth. Yeah. So it's a good thing. You just got to support the caloric demands that your running has.
Yeah, definitely doing cardio. 15K it's not even that much. Because, for example, when me and Tom are in the pre-contest stage, we do roughly what, four, equivalent to 4K, 5K a day.
Yeah.
So, and we do 7 days a week, and we still put massive amounts of muscle. So it's not that, actually, it's the time that you actually manage to put on more muscle, because as you mentioned, your metabolic rate is so high and your body is so absorbing so much nutrients into your bloodstream that you actually end up facilitate your muscle building.
Mm.
And that's what we all know. One of the keys to put on muscle is food.
Hmm.
So when you do 15K a day, you can allows you to eat like a lot more food than a normal person, and that's a massive important key factor for muscle building. So
You can absorb and utilize the food more efficiently.
yeah,
You've got to fuel it. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. And now supplements. What supplements should I take when I'm trying to build muscles?
Food. Food is number one.
Food is number one.
And then Rob, will you go for the rest?
Oh man, I'll give you my example. Of course, I'm like my genetics is, I don't know, it's slightly different, but I'll give you my example. Like when I was in the army and I was only managed to work out twice, 2, 3 times a day. This 5 days I was in the army, they will really just kick my ass in terms of cardio, physical activity, and to the point I'll probably lose about a stone and a half in a week. So that when I was at home for the end of the week, I will grab 100 tablets of BCAAs, and, and there were 3 milligrams each tablet, and I would take 10 tablets with every single meal. So
What?
I would consume 100 tablets of BCAAs in 3 days. I would go back to my base looking. No, I'll also put all the way back on again. That I was looking, I'll double it. I'll looking twice as bigger when I left the base on the same week. So I found for me that BCAAs was the best supplement in the world. My body, because you know what BCAAs does, right? My body will literally just exploded by just using BCAAs. But I will consume 10 with every single meal. So I eat a meal and I take 10 tablets of BCAAs with every meal. And I remember to walk in the base, and the lieutenant or the sergeant would looked at me. He's like, "What the hell happened to you in the last 3 days?" And I was like, "Well, it's just I worked out." But for me at the time, that was the best thing, the best supplement ever. Then I found out the complex multivitaminic like Animal Pack. I've been using since I was 18. I used taking every day since I was 18, and that's for me one of the best supplements out there. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? But there's different opinions. There's different opinions. I think every supplement, like Tom said, first of all, the food needs to be on point. If the food is on point, the supplements will work. Because as you said, supplement is just a supplement.
Mm.
It's not the main. It's not the main factor, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean supplements. Yeah, they supplement what you're doing. So get your food right first. A BCAA or an EAA. EAA has more leucine. So leucine is an amino acid that helps build muscle a bit more efficiently. Intra workout or before a workout or whatever, depends. Or you can do tablets with meals or whatever. But bottom line, it's just, I mean, BCAA, EAA, the liquid protein, right? So it's just essentially another way to get more protein in. And then I guess the most popular product is creatine, right?
Oh man, creatine is like for example, my son is 17, and he's been working out for a solid year now. And I go, you know what? It's time for you to go on the creatine. And I think he's put on like a stone in a week so far.
No, this is what happened. The first time I did it, I was like, wow, this is like steroids or something.
It's the oldest supplement
Yeah.
ever invented. And when you're young and all you want to do is just like get stronger, regardless of what you do in the gym or any kind of sport, you go on a creatine because it's all natural, man. And I said to him, okay, you've been taking multivitamins for a couple of years now. Let's go on the creatine, and his body just exploded of muscles everywhere and strength as well. Even today, I was working out with him. He almost beat me in most of the exercises. That's absolutely crazy. It's probably one of the best supplements out there. Definitely creatine.
Yeah. And creatine, I mean, there's tons of marketing shit about, which creatine is best. There's like, I think 5 or 6 different creatines now. Just go for plain old monohydrate. It's cheap, buy in bulk. You either do, I would probably, it says 5 grams. five
Yeah.
to 10 grams a day, something like that.
Yeah,
You
something like that.
tablets, you could do powder, whatever.
Yeah. You know, I have like is I've got my little protocol for every client. He asks me for the supplements. I don't give him supplements to start off with. I never suggest anyone to start with supplements. As long as the diet, when the diet is on track, the training is on track, which takes roughly about 3 to 4 weeks. I'll do another consultation where if everything goes to the plan, then I'll give him a little protocol, which is the basic supplements that anyone can take that they are beneficial. They're the ones I think you don't need to spend a lot of money on that, but using those supplements, it works, And I've got a little protocol that I've been using it for years, based on my research, based on what my beliefs, and that's what I do. And it's all basic supplements. And like I said, you don't have to spend a lot of money, and it seems to be work for most of the people I've known, especially my clients.
I guess as well, the most obvious protein shake. I mean, it's not like it's magic or anything, and it's not going to slap on muscle. But like, if you can't eat the amount of protein you need, a protein shake is fine. Post workout or first thing in the morning or something like that. Obviously, you will look so much better, as I found out, if you eat real food. Because I used to always just have shakes, and then Rob was like, "Man, what are you doing? Eat some real food." And then I did, and I was like, "Oh wow, I actually look better." So
if you start your day, I think multivitamins it has to be on your menu. Then your fat acid supplements, omega-3, 6, 9, it has to be on your menu too, because for your joints, your bones and stuff like that, and not for your bones, you got your calcium and all that. But like, definitely the fat acids are supplements, omega-3, especially omega-3, because we can't get omega-3 from anywhere, not even on the food. So the only way to get omega-3 into your system is by using a supplement. Omega-6 and 9 we can get from the fish. Omega-3 we can't get from anywhere. And then according to your goals, give it the different type of supplements to take. Not a lot. Don't overload your body with the supplements, but keep the basic ones. Like you mentioned, the creatine, maybe some ZMA before bed to help you to recover and sleep better. What else? Vitamin C, because you all know, it makes you kind of strengthen your body system, avoids you from getting sick and cold and getting cold and temperatures throughout the year. So
and then you kind of branch off. Like, I think a whey protein is brilliant. Like, I've used it the whole time. In fact, I think that's the first supplement I ever bought. You just got to understand that it's a supplement. You still need to eat your food.
Yeah.
And, you're not going to suddenly, turn into Arnie within a week. It's just to help everything. And then I personally love a carb powder with my EAAs, and that's because I'm naturally a very skinny person, and the amount of carbs and food I need is a lot. So a carb powder, I drink that a bit before the workout and intra workout, helps me just keep the energy, because otherwise I just get too hungry and I like shut down. But is that essential? No, I mean, not at all. It's just something I like to have. But yeah, I think, like Rob said, a good multivitamin is pretty nice to have.
Yeah. Good multivitamin is one of the most important ones, because bear in mind, you got your bones, your skin, your hair, your eyes, your cartilage, your joints, and everything needs to be protected. And unfortunately, your food intake is not enough to cover all that. That's why the supplements will comes into a place. And I'll tell you what, one supplement that it is not very popular. It's not essential, but you'll make a hell of a difference in anything you do, even if you don't want to work out. Even if you can use it just to go to work. It's taurine.
Which one?
That taurine that goes in the Red Bull. So instead of you drinking the Red Bull, you try to take a couple tabs of like 2,000 milligrams of taurine before any physical exercise you do, even before you go to work. And you see mentally your focus will improve more than 100%. You try to do that, and it's a supplement I've used because I used to train really early in the morning. But my workouts used to be between 1 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the morning every day,
Ooh.
because you open 24 hours. I know it's crazy, but then again, you don't win a competition without being crazy, you know. So I would take a taurine before the workout, and I have the best workouts in my life, you know. And it works with a lot of people. It's been scientifically tested and approved, and it's reckoned to be one of the very, very effective supplement, and it's really cheap. Yeah, that's a good question. I wish I'll have, like, in my this question I thought about. My protocols. I have, like, the AM. I normally give AM supplements, noon supplements, and PM supplements. I choose 3 times of the day to take the supplements. The only reason is because, do you know how people forget to take the supplements most of the time? Because it's hard, it's complicated. So I get people to take supplements first thing in the morning, after their meal number one, then just before lunchtime, and at night. That's it. That's 3 times a day. That I think is the more important thing. And obviously, well, not thinking about, listen, I forgot about the workout itself. It's very important. So I've always suggest multivitamins first thing in the morning. Your multivitamins, your vitamin C, with your first meal. Before lunchtime, I'll always suggest your fat acids, so your omega-3, 6, 9. That's my suggestion. That depends on your workout. I will always suggest the BCAAs before and after the workout, and then the evening supplements. I'll go back to multivitamins again, but this time a different type of multivitamins. For example, in the morning I'll take an animal pack first thing in the morning, and night I'll take a Centrum, which is like one tablet only, that is very high in zinc and magnesium, calcium, everything like that. The testosterone supplements, because they do exist, they're actually there. If you're on a testosterone supplement, I suggest you to take AM and PM. So first thing in the morning before bed.
What is your opinion on testosterone?
Oh, that's a tricky one, because we all know the market is saturated of testosterone boosters, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, just like ZMA even really boosted testosterone, and that's a before bed supplement, really. Tribulus is the most popular.
It's the most popular. I take a testosterone supplement, which is for me the best testosterone supplement I ever took, and I've been to try to convince anyone that really wants to take a testosterone to take it. I'm not trying to sell it. I don't make any money out of this. I'm just taking because I've been taking for the last couple of years, and I can see the benefits of this supplement. It really, really works. The only things I've seen that this testosterone supplement does, it improves your mood, your energy levels, your sex drive, and everything else. I don't know anything about muscle building. I truly, honestly, I don't feel it does anything in terms of muscle building. But then I have some people actually feel like using the simple supplement, they have some testimonies that people had some great benefits about the supplement, about in terms of muscle building. I don't think, but in terms of anything else that improves your testosterone, the test levels, it works really, really well. So this is one supplement out of 100 that I have probably tried throughout my career. I actually found the one that I actually know is very, very good. And I'm not the only person to say that. Everyone that I know is using this testosterone supplement has really great benefits from it.
I've tried it as well.
And is it only for men or is it for women as well?
Rob, testosterone boosters, men or women as well?
Women as well. They can use that.
Okay.
I know women take test boost.
Yeah.
Alpha boost.
What are the recommended reps and series when exercising? So how many times lift, and in how many series? If I want to become big.
Well, I think that's a really broad question again, because again, you have to take into consideration how long has this person been lifting for and stuff like this. I mean, I train different now to when I was younger, and what works when I was younger works different now. So I think most important part, you got to control negatives. Don't when you're doing a bench press, don't do this weird, like, jolty fast reps. Control the reps, but pretty much broadly 6 to 12 reps.
Yeah. Do you know that, Peter, there's what we call the muscle development system, which is a very basic system, which consists in between 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps.
Mhm.
Easy. Exercise per muscle, I'll say for big body parts, 4 to 5 different exercises. For small body parts, 3. It's the most basic workout system. You cannot get it wrong, and is available everywhere, but we call it the muscle development workout. What if you like try to really be more advanced into training, you should go take by stage, like into like endurance and stamina training using resistance workout, then into a strength training, then ultimately into a muscle development training. But if you don't want to get it wrong when you go to the gym for the first time and make it like productive, stick to about 4 or 5 exercises to big body parts, 3 exercises to a smaller body parts, which means biceps and triceps, and use between 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Simple.
Yeah, and I'll say this as well for beginners, or so let's say someone that's been training for the first year. Don't even think about going low reps. Don't do it. You just want to keep in that muscle building range that Rob said, and just learn to feel the muscles. People go through the motions and don't think about what's contracting and what's working, and there's no point you doing like all these reps if you can't even feel the muscle working. So take your time, think about the muscle that is activating during that set, and try and contract it, and try and control the negative portion, so downward phase of a rep, because that's where most muscle damage is created, in the downward phase of a rep. And don't get caught up on 1 rep maxes and all this kind of stuff, because it's not even relevant to you. There's specific phases that you can take yourself into, but if you're a beginner, like Rob said, just stick to that system and just do that.
You know what mentioned Tom just mentioned is quite important, because we're living in a society nowadays, because social media has such a big influence in the fitness industry, and I'm seeing like probably for the past couple of years or maybe even more, these very beginner guys going to the gym and spending hours deadlifting 1 rep max. Have you seen that? It's become a fashionable thing. These beginner guys, basically just kids, we don't have a lot of muscle. They go to the gym and try to max out on that bench press or that deadlift. And every gym I go, I've seen them often, over and over and over. And that's not how it works. Just not how it works.
Okay.
You will not get bigger or stronger by just doing that. Simple enough.
And how long would you stay in a gym for, or a beginner? How long they should? An hour, 2 hours?
With a full workout, with the warm up set, and the full workout, and the we call the cool down, it becomes a stretching, maybe some cardio in the end, up an hour 15 tops. I wouldn't suggest more than that.
If you're working out 2 hours, then you're not working hard enough, because I can't. There's no way I can't work out maximally for 2 hours.
No, I can't.
Less is more.
Yeah, if you're working out the full workout, giving yourself 60 seconds rest between sets, I'd say 50 minutes. That's tops.
Yeah. So some of the most intense workouts I've had is with Rob, and it's me and him just going set for set. 6 exercises, 5 exercises, whatever, and we get that done in about an hour and 10. And we're like advanced, bodybuilders, and we're working in between sets. So yeah.
Okay. And you've just touched now, Rob, was the warm up and at the end of the workout. What would you recommend to do for your warm up, and then at the end of the exercising?
Yeah, so warm up. Basically, I like to start warming up like in some sort of a cardio. Just get you just get your thermogenic. Go to the bike and cycle for like 10 minutes. Nothing crazy. Just get yourself into it. Start thinking about, in those 10 minutes you're on the bike, you're already thinking about what you're gonna do. Sets you're gonna do. Are you thinking about your workout? And then you do that. Then start doing like a lot of not calf. What's it called? Rotation moves for your shoulders. What's the name of that, Tom? Forgot that.
Yeah, just warm up for your rotator cuffs. Yeah,
Rotator
that's
cuff.
a good point.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I do that quite a lot. You know, that movement to the side. Shoulders is going to be whatever you do, any type of workout, unless you train your lower body. Shoulder is going to be the main muscle is going to be working the most entire time. So that with a small dumbbell, rotating cuff, just get everything warmed up. Then after that, go start with the first exercise. Do like 2 or 3 warm up sets. Normally choose like 20 high reps, 20 to 25 reps, just to get some blood into your muscle. And depends what you're going to do. Obviously, if you're training back, you start, for example, with the lat pull down. So you send a message into your muscle. It tells exactly what you're going to do in that day. So the first exercise, the first warm up set, it's very, very important. It's a message that you send to your body. Okay, this is the muscle group I'm going to train today. So if you're doing it, if you're doing chest, you're going to pick up a small dumbbell and do 2 or 3 warm up sets. And say, okay, we're doing chest today. You know, I mean, this is the warm up. The warm up is very basic, it's very simple, but you need to spend a good, at least 15 minutes into it. You know, just get your mindset.
Sure. You want your tendons and your muscles warm before you even think about doing like a proper set. Something that people neglect, something that's so important. And but yeah, I would definitely, Rob raised a really good point. Definitely do your rotator cuff exercises. Internal rotation, external rotation, adduction, abduction with a light dumbbell or a cable.
That kind of stuff.
Because that is really going to save your shoulder joints, and that's going to give you longevity for sure.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. And the very last question here is about children. At what age children can start working muscles, you know, to become big, actually, not just general kind of healthy exercises, but actually bodybuilding for children?
Oh man, if I knew what I knew now, I'd start when I was like 12. If I knew the benefits from it, I would have started like really, really young. I started when I was 16, and for me it was already late. You know, if I knew the benefits, man, because you know the benefits, it's so good, it's so great. You know, you can really turn into a completely different human being when you start working out, and if you find out way before way before everyone else in a young age, it's just going to be so beneficial for you when you go to your adult stages. You know, like for example, my son, he started working out when he was 15 to 16, and I tried to convince him to go to the gym before that when he was 12, because I tried to explain to him, but I'm telling you, the gym is not for everyone, and it doesn't matter. You can't force anyone to go to the gym when you're that young. It's like in our case, we're different because we don't have computers, we didn't have mobile phones. So, you know, that's the gym. That was the way to go. So I didn't start going to the gym until I was done with the football. So I would prefer anything else. But I did told my son, listen, you start working out now, honestly. But he didn't make up his mind until it was about 15 to 16. Okay, I want to hit the gym now. So it's impossible to convince anyone to go to the gym for that young age. But if I will suggest, man, well, you go to the gym when you're young. I mean, you're super young.
I mean, I completely regret. I started working out at 16. So I regret it big time.
You want to start earlier?
Yeah, it's way earlier. Well, man, I should have been sticking creatine in my Cocoa Pops when I was like 13 or something.
When I found out, when I was about 18 and I found out what the gym was doing it to me, I was like, wow, I wish I could have started when I was way younger.
I mean, Arnie started at, I want to say, at 12 or 13, something like that.
13, yeah. And it's not just for like, because we all know, like, physical appearance brings a lot, like, confidence, you know? You become a very confident person because strong body, strong mind, you know? It can't deny that. You just can't deny it. You know, if you have a strong body, you have a strong mind. Simple as that. And starting at a young age, that means when you get to the teenager stages and go to the adult stages, you're just going to be a super motivated person and a completely human being, because everything's into the place. You got a strong body, you're fit, you're intelligent, you absorb things quicker. Just the benefits is a handless number of benefits, you know. And obviously 16 years old is still young. But when I reach my 19 or 20, I look back and I'm thinking, oh man, I wish I could have started when I was like way younger. I started when I was like, for example, 12 years old or something like that. You know what I mean? But
that's the thing. Like
if you mention that to anyone else, they might think you're crazy. Especially the doctors. The doctors will think you're nuts.
He raised a good point, because I mean, you look at a muscular body, right, and you just think, that's just like some idiot. But when you think about the mental side of that, that's discipline, that's determination, that's forming habits, that's consistency, that's a drive that a lot of people don't seem to have. And I've trained a lot of people, and they come to me and they're like weak mentally, physically as well, but mentally they're unsure of themselves. They start training, and then all of a sudden their life path changes, because you know, they're more driven. They're like, oh, I could actually try this, I could try this, I could go for that, because they can see that when they put their mind to something, they get a result. And I think that's a really undervalued point of it's brain training, bottom line.
Right, mental health, man. We're talking about in the years, in the stage that mental health is such a big thing, especially in UK. Not such a big thing, for example, where I was born in Portugal. No one gives a shit about mental health. You know, you just deal with it. Simple as that. And here, mental health is a number one suicidal things like that. You know, so training is you will know when someone start taking on training and exercising, their mental health improves so much. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I think the younger you start, the better person you will be and you will become.
Well, it gives you something to focus on. I mean, like, I lived in a really rough area, and you know, and like I had the gym, and it gave me something to focus on, and I avoided a lot of, you know, crime and stuff like that, because I was just focused on like training and like eating and getting my sleep in, so I could just focus on that rather than, you know, doing other things that, you know, people of my age at that time were doing. So, you know, I think, when should you train? I think when you're ready, but like, you know, obviously the earlier the better, you know?
Yeah, the thing about is weird. That's our opinion, but in the society days, if you tell to someone you should put your kid in the gym by the age of 12, they think you're crazy. Like, oh no, because he's gonna stop growing. You know, he's gonna, like, his muscles gonna, like, his limbs gonna shorten by working out, which is not true. But that's what the doctor said. Like, if you start training with weights when you're such a young age, it's gonna make you stop growing, which is like completely BS. It's not, actually, it doesn't, the way around, it makes it grow more.
Oh, well, thanks very much, gents, for today's session. It was very, very useful and very beneficial.
And I thank you very much for the session. It was very good to listen, and
Awesome.
I found out many new things. So it was very enriching.
Oh, good.
Good, very good. We're happy. I'm happy.
Great.